Well, when it comes to summertime fun, it often feels like there are never-ending options. And while that may be the case most of the time, it is also a season filled with its own specific dangers and safety concerns. So, of course, from heat-related illness to water safety, both parents and kids, very important. We need to be vigilant. Joining me now with the important warning signs to look for, as well as tips to stay safe, is Dr. Neil Sella, a pediatric ER physician. Thank you so much for being here. Dr. Neil and I were just talking because we both have kids around the same age. I mean, this is something that scares the heck out of me, and I know a lot of parents are in the same boat. So first and foremost, when it comes to the summer, what are the most common health safety concerns that you're seeing that we should be hyper-vigilant of?
Yeah, I kind of have a big five, but I'll start with the most important one that scares me the most as an ER doctor is water safety.
Just going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, those are preventable tragedies, and when we get them in a late stage, it's really hard to make a difference. So anything you can do to prevent a drowning is very worthwhile. So anything you can do as a parent to increase water safety lessons are awesome, as well as parents being very vigilant at the pool and planning with if they're going to a friend's party about pool safety.
Yeah, always have your eyes on your kids. Like that is, even if there's a lifeguard there, right? Because you just never know. Also, I think really important, what are some of the warning signs or symptoms that we should look for in a number of situations during the summer? What would you say?
Well, yeah, I mean, then you can go to heat safety, right? So you're going to have a lot of heat exposure over the summer, so you want to be careful about that and make sure your kids aren't getting heat exposure or heat stroke. And so the nice part about Colorado is it is dry, so shade and drinking fluids make a big difference in a hurry. So I would say heat exposure is another thing. I also think about there's a lot of independence that's allowed in the summer in car safety. So crossing streets, bicycles, wearing helmets in the street, you know. So you want to think, I don't know what category to put that in, but independent play that can still be safe, and that's going to be helmets and really getting your kids into tune on car safety in the streets.
Great advice, great tips. How do we know as parents if we treat it at home or we go to our pediatrician?
So yeah, you know, sometimes there's a gray line, but I would say the two big things in pediatrics, I mean, trauma is pretty easy to see. If there's blood, if it's a big collision, we're there to help you in the ER. But if there's, you know, you're having trouble breathing or your child's behavior is really off from an illness or heat exposure, then that's time to go to a doctor. So a lot of times their general interaction with you is a good clue, as well as a lot of problems in pediatrics involve the respiratory system. So if you think there's a problem with their breathing, then have them checked out. And
trust your gut, right? As a parent, like I always try and trust my instinct and not try to mitigate it or minimize it. So that's important too. What are some things that maybe we don't know as parents? Are there any safety concerns, any events, sports activities that are more dangerous than we realize?
You know, I think, I'm going to say this, I'm a dog lover, but I think dog safety is a little bit we don't talk about it enough. And I think that's a two-way street. I think dog owners need to be aware of their dogs and just try to manage them responsibly. And I think parents, particularly I find the toddler group very exploratory, can be very confusing for a dog. Fingers can go into eyes, those kind of things. So parents need to monitor their kids and how they're interacting with dogs and think about that interaction can go poorly pretty quickly, because we definitely see an increase in dog bites in the summer.
This is such a wealth of information. Dr. Neil, we really appreciate you, and great advice, and I hope it sticks with all of you because it can be life-saving. So thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.